back. Semi-finalists last year, both Antrim and Laois, were looking to go a step further in this year's Tailteann Cup. Both sides had significant victories in the quarter-final stages as Laois toppled Kildare and Antrim beat neighbours Fermanagh to reach the final four.
Really warm day, absolutely perfect conditions. Colin McLaren now on the break for Antrim. And Laois have left him on his own. Shooting chance from McLaren. Should be the game's opening score, and it is. Really nice point by Colin McLaren. The Laois defence sort of stood off them, but it was a fine point nonetheless.
Absolutely brilliant score.
Bursting forward is James Kelly. Again, had an effort inside that was blocked, but it still may work out for Ivan O'Carroll. Slipped though as he was trying to create a shooting angle for himself. Paul Kingston in support, and Paul Kingston fires over Laois's first score of the game. It's taken nearly 7 minutes, but it's a good point.
Absolutely great score by Paul Kingston.
Cavan Keenan gets this one forward now to Lynch. Lynch again, and that's good play. Chance now for McBride. Should score, does score. Really good point by Paddy McBride, his 9th point of this season's Tailteann Cup.
Patrick McBride, he's integral to everything Antrim do. He's keeping it really wide here under the Cusack stands because Laois have everyone back.
12 minutes played in the opening half of the first of this year's Tailteann Cup semi-finals. Antrim 3 points to 1 in front, but a chance now for Barry for Laois, and that's much better. Really good score by Mark Berry. He has that in his locker, and there's only a point between them.
He absolutely does, but interestingly, that was the foot pass. I think Laois are at their best when they can get that foot pass inside quickly.
Laois with everybody back inside 50 metres. That's a decent ball, though, to Hines. Now then, can they take it on here through McBride? That's really good. Patient build-up there by Antrim, superbly finished by Paddy McBride.
Brilliant by Patrick McBride. This is a pre-planned move, and that's 2 points for him. Laois are going to have to tag him now.
Acres of space inside the Antrim 45-metre line, and they found it. One ball picks out Evan O'Carroll. Here is O'Carroll trying to get on to get a shot away, and O'Carroll does really, really well. That's a fantastic point, and that shows the worth of a long kick that's accurate.
Absolutely, and it just suits the profile of the Laois players, them doing that. Evan O'Carroll would make any team in the country, but he needs the ball in quickly.
Colin McLaren. Still McLaren. Hines gets this one back to McBride. McBride takes it on himself, and that is absolutely brilliant. That's 3 points for Paddy McBride. What a first half he's having.
Sensational. Yet again, same pattern as before, finding that pocket, hugging the touchline, coming into the play at the last minute, and he's capitalising on that.
Good ball forward as Barry in possession again, being put under pressure here by Cavan Keenan. Here's Byrne once more. Shooting chance now, but it's a very good block down. The effort from Swain was blocked, but still a chance here for the centre-back, and Brian Byrne gets the game's opening goal. The chance seemed to have gone after some good defending, but Brian Byrne gets his first goal of this year's Tailteann Cup.
Brian Byrne's been threatening to get into these positions all day. How often in Gaelic football, from a block shot or a dropping shot, does a goal chance come? Brian Byrne capitalises there. Excellent.
Larkin across to Dempsey. Good burst of pace inside from Kelly, and that one has gone over the bar. Well, that really is a fantastic point by James Kelly.
Brilliant score by James Kelly. He is a real attacking threat from deep.
Kyle Hines of the Con McGee's club there for the return, but Joseph Finnegan just forward himself, looking for a gap back to McBride. Takes on the shot, and that one will go over the bar, and that's a 4th point for Paddy McBride, and single-handedly keeping Antrim in the game.
He's brilliant. He's so accurate, and on that trusty right foot, every time he's finding pockets of space. It's the other side of the field this time, but it's the same outcome.
And again, you talk talked about body language in the first half. Nigel, you can see the difference in the Antrim players since those 2 points have gone over as well. And that's a real hit and hope. And again, it works out in the favour of Antrim, luckily so. And Dominic McInhill gets that one over as well. So there's 3 points in the opening 4 minutes for Antrim at the start of the second half. A bit fortuitous, but it's a good score by McInhill.
Absolutely, and McInhill is justifying his selection here today. He's very busy, he's very accurate.
Niall Dunn get this one forward. O'Carroll showing well. Turns onto his left-hand side. Still O'Carroll. Good pass. And the ball has come back off the bar. Chance still here for Laois. Can they capitalise with Paul Kingston? And Kingston has sent this wide, would you believe? Well, what a chance for Laois, created by Evan O'Carroll and unable to be finished there by Owen Lowry.
Evan O'Carroll did excellent there. He was so unselfish. He could have tried and forced the shot at goal because he hasn't been going overly well. But it was brilliant by Evan O'Carroll. Just shows what he can do.
Now there's a ball inside and a chance here for McAleer, and McAleer has scored Antrim's first goal of the game. Paddy McAleer judged the bounce of the ball perfectly, and he gets his first goal of the Tailteann Cup this year, and Antrim lead by 3.
The cruelty and brilliance of Gaelic football all in one play. Laois miss at one end, Antrim goal at the other. That could be a huge moment, Gary.
Kevin Swain. Both sides aiming to get into the Tailteann Cup final for the first time. Good ball forward though, well taken by Murphy. Here's Buggy. Not the best shot, but it could work out, and the ball has been fisted to the goal by Kevin Swain. Would you believe it? A miss-hit shot, and Kevin Swain is there to give Laois the lead.
The most dangerous ball in Gaelic football. We'd say it for the second time today. And what I love there is Paul Kingston got on the ball in the quarterback position, and he decided, I'm going to kick it in here. I know there's a crowd, I'm still going to kick it in. So they got the bit of reward for being brave.
Here's Keenan. It's a good piece of play there by Rory McCann. And McBride gets a shot away, and that was a score that Antrim badly needed, and it's been scored by who else but Paddy McBride.
Again, Paddy finding himself in that little pocket of space. He's such a clever player.
Kingston survives a challenge from Hines. Cathal Hines battling gamely though, but Kingston then gets a low one in, and has been well picked up by Niall Dunn. And now here's Brian Byrne again bursting forward. His second goal of the game, and Brian Byrne looks like he possibly has put Laois into the Tailteann Cup final.
I'd say that's it. Brian Byrne, who has been absolutely excellent. 2 goals aside, he has been one of the outstanding performers on the pitch today. He's timing his runs perfectly from the middle of the field. He's given the forward an outlet every time off the shoulder.
Good kick out, broken down by the Antrim goalkeeper Michael Byrne, but again it's been won by Laois, and maybe here is the chance for Paul Kingston. There's no goalkeeper back there, and there's a chance surely here now for Fitzpatrick. Here's Fitzpatrick. It's been saved on the line amazingly, and the ball still available, and eventually it's Kelly, and James Kelly, befitting of a performance, fires over another score, and that is that.
Laois have had heroes all over the field in the second half. James Kelly's been brilliant throughout. He deserved that score.
Here's Niall Burns. Here's this one across to Finnegan. The 4 minutes are up, and that ball has been struck over, but it's just a consolation score really for Conor Hand. Laois turned up in the second half, Nigel.
Absolutely. They're there now.
Here it is, Liam Devaney blows the full-time whistle. Laois victorious, and well deserved. It's finished. Laois 3-12, Antrim 1-13.
Both halves seem to follow a very similar pattern, whereas we kind of started well and tagged on a fuse, came from 3 down to go level, to go 3 up, and it looked like we had all the momentum, but we didn't cash in on that, and Laois worked themselves back into the game, and as I say, they were better in the vital times of the game.
Here you go into any dressing room, any of the four this weekend, and ask them what the Tailteann Cup means to the players. An opportunity to play in Croke Park, where every boy, every girl dreams about playing from your knee high, and every opportunity you get to play here at HQ is an honour and a privilege, and the more opportunities they have and the opportunities to win silverware, the better.
Yeah, Andy McEntee rightly saying that Laois were better when they had the chances. They might have got a stroke of fortune with the opening goal though, Eamon.
Yeah, it was well spotted by you earlier, Jackie, when we were watching the game. It was great defending initially from Antrim, and as can often happen with these kind of ricochets, it fell. Owen Lowry looked to us like he might have picked it off the ground out to Brian Byrne. Brilliant finish from him. But we can see it here when it's zoomed in. There was no sign of his boot going under the ball. Did well to get it up, and I think Liam Devaney might have been blindsided as well. He didn't have a great view of it, so they're the breaks that you can get sometimes, especially the days that you win.
Yeah, look, they took it well when they had their opportunities, and there was so many quality performances all over the field, Lee, but there was one battle in particular that really caught your eye today.
Yeah, Patrick Bride versus Brian Byrne. Brilliant exhibition of attacking football, and this is a lovely score. This probably sealed the game from Byrne. Lovely offload from Dunn, and he finished it brilliantly, just like the first goal with the four cheers. But look, they hadn't it. But just on McBride, I think his variety of scores today was absolutely immense from start to finish. He just put on an exhibition of shooting, finished the game with 5 from play. But it's funny how you can look at these things from in light after the game. Two of them were probably brilliant for them in attacking sense, but when you look at the duel, it was 2-5 the score for him. But it was a brilliant watch. As mentioned, there were some brilliant scores. And for Laois, it's a great opportunity now in a couple of weeks' time to lay down a marker on the back of a tough time last year. Yeah, cracking final to look forward to, because, Lee mentioned tough time last year, and even when you look at that semi-final against Down, lot between the sides, but they've improved a fierce amount since then, Eamon. They
have, and I think in fairness to them today, Andy McEntee mentioned it after the game, in the second half of both halves, they really came into it. They scored 1-2 without reply before half-time. They went from 3 down to win by 5 in the final quarter. So whether it was a fitness thing or a mentality thing, they certainly had the belief to drive on at the second half of both halves. That's a great thing to have to go in to the final. Obviously, they have a big bridge to gap from last year. Down scored 8-16 in that semi-final last year. Down obviously have huge motivation after losing the final last year, and Laois will want to redress the balance there. So based on the way both teams play, it should be a cracking game of football. Yeah, hopefully. One last thing to touch on around the weekend in general. You look at 10,000 there today, Lee. 14,000 in Castlebar yesterday. I think there was 6,000 in Omagh, maybe 6,500 in Salthill, or just above it. Small attendances all throughout the weekend, and huge amount of jeopardy in all of those games, which is the one thing people said, that's maybe why people weren't turning up.
I'll be honest, there's just too much sport. Yeah. But I just think with the condensed season and the nature of it and the amount of competitions outside GA, you have soccer, you have rugby, hurling as well. Yeah, exactly. But people are they're finding it hard to pick and choose what they want to go to, what they want to see. And yeah, I have to say, for the biggest weekend in terms of just from a football aspect, you finally had knockout phase football, proper knockout, and it was probably a low return in terms of what we got in terms of attendances for it. And for some of the games, there were proper championship games. Quality probably lacked in some of it, but geez, over the years we would have had massive attendance for the likes of these games. So it was probably disappointing from that aspect. Hopefully it picks up in the next couple of weeks with the quarterfinals now and straight through now. But yeah, it was definitely noted that they were well down from what we've seen in the past. Yeah, noticeable for sure, but the quality was definitely on show today and of course yesterday as well. We're going to take another break here on the programme, but when we come back we will have highlights and analysis from the ladies.